Making headlines, President Moise extends heartfelt condolences to the United States in response to the tragic aircraft collision near Washington, D.C. that claimed 67 lives. The President conveyed greetings to the President and Head of State of Nauru on the occasion of the Independence Day of Nauru. And the President underscores the profound national duty incumbent upon every citizen to draw lessons and inspiration from the sacrifices of martyrs. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Utma Mahmood. Looking into the details, in response to the tragic aircraft collision near Washington, D.C. that claimed 67 lives, President Dr. Mohamed Moise extends heartfelt condolences to the United States, offering solidarity during this difficult time. President Dr. Mohamed Moise on Friday extended condolences to Donald Trump in response to the devastating aircraft collision near Washington, D.C. that occurred a day earlier. On Thursday, a passenger plane collided mid-air with a military helicopter over Washington's Potomac River, killing all 67 people aboard. In his message, the President expressed his deepest sympathies to the bereaved families and loved ones of the victims, as well as to the government and the people of the United States. He also reaffirmed the solidarity of the Maldivian people with the United States during this period of profound grief. In a separate message, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Halil sent his condolences to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio over the tragedy. On behalf of the government and people of the Maldives, Minister Halil extended heartfelt condolences to the government and people of the United States, particularly to the families and loved ones of those affected by the tragic event. He added that during this time of mourning, the Maldives stands in solidarity with the United States, offering support and compassion to those grieving this immense loss. The collision, the first major crash in the United States since 2009, occurred as American Eagle Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, was preparing to land. A fireball erupted in the night sky as both aircraft fell into the icy Potomac, with rescue crews searching for victims in the dark and cold. Reagan National, a major airport located a short distance from downtown Washington, the White House, and the Pentagon, is known for its extremely busy airspace, with both civilian and military aircraft in constant operation. The National Transportation Safety Board (NTSB) has recovered the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder from the Bombardier jet operated by an American Airlines subsidiary as part of the ongoing investigation into the incident. President Dr. Mohamed Moise conveys greetings to the President and Head of State of Nauru, David Roniebok Edeng, on the occasion of the Independence Day of Nauru. In his message, the President also extended his best wishes to the government and people of Nauru and wished for the further progress and prosperity of Nauru. Nauru celebrates its Independence Day on 31st January. The Maldives established diplomatic relations with Nauru on 9th May 2000. President Dr. Mohamed Moise underscores the profound national duty incumbent upon every citizen to draw lessons and inspiration from the sacrifices of martyrs, thereby securing a brighter future for the nation. This sentiment was expressed in a social media post commemorating Martyrs' Day observed today. In his post, President Dr. Moise extended his best wishes to all citizens, stressing the critical importance of reflecting on the sacrifices made by those who laid down their lives for the country's independence. He reiterated that it is the paramount national duty of every citizen to honor the martyrs and heroes who fought for the nation's freedom by drawing inspiration from their sacrifices and taking necessary actions to secure a prosperous future for the country. Adding to the commemorations, Vice President Hussein Mohamed Latif also took to social media to mark the occasion citizens and prayed for Almighty Allah to grant eternal paradise to the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the nation. Martyrs' Day commemorates the death of Sultan Ali, who heroically fought against the Portuguese and perished on the battlefield in 1558. Sultan Ali is venerated as a national hero and martyr. The Maldives began observing Martyrs' Day on the first day of Shaban in the Islamic calendar, year 400,000, corresponding to 14th June 1980. This observance symbolizes the enduring spirit of freedom and nationalism in the Maldives, commemorating the martyrdom of Sultan Ali and honoring the sacrifices made by countless others in the pursuit of the nation's independence. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Maldives, Dr. Abdullah Halil, held official talks with key Saudi officials during his ongoing visit to Saudi Arabia to reaffirm and strengthen the diplomatic ties between the two nations. In Riyadh, Dr. Halil met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, where both leaders emphasized the importance of continued collaboration. The meeting underscored the strong bonds of friendship and cooperation between the two countries, highlighting shared Islamic values and common interests as the foundation of their partnership. Dr. Halil expressed appreciation for Saudi Arabia's continued support throughout the Maldives' development journey. The minister also agreed to explore further opportunities for bilateral cooperation and to continue working closely in multilateral forums. Minister Halil was accompanied by the ambassador of the Maldives to Saudi Arabia, Ahmad Sarir, as well as other officials including Secretary for Bilateral Affairs, Dr. Hala Hamid, Joint Secretary Khadija Najiha, and Councillor Ahmad Fazil. In addition to his discussions with Foreign Minister Prince Faisal, Minister Halil also met with Saudi Arabia's Minister of Commerce, Majid bin Abdullah Al Qasabi, to discuss expanding trade relations and increasing Saudi investments in the Maldives. Both ministers expressed their commitment to deepening bilateral ties and exploring new opportunities in key economic sectors. Before these talks, Dr. Halil offered his condolences to the Saudi royal family following the passing of Prince Mohammed bin Fahd Al Saud. As part of his visit, the foreign minister also met with Dr. Ing Saud Al-Shamari, the Director General of South Asia Operations at the Saudi Fund for Development, to discuss strengthening the partnership with the fund and continuing collaboration on impactful projects aimed at driving sustainable change in the Maldives. The Ministry of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development announces the commencement of applications for higher education scholarships to study in Turkey. These scholarships, according to the Ministry, furnish recipients with the opportunity to undertake their studies at universities and tertiary educational institutions in Turkey. These scholarships, according to the Ministry, furnish recipients with opportunities to undertake their studies at universities and tertiary educational institutions in Turkey. The scholarships represent opportunities for students to pursue bachelor's and master's degree programs. Applicants are required to adhere to the criteria set forth by the Maldives Medical and Dental Council and meet the admissions standards specified by their chosen higher education institution in Turkey. The scholarships encompass tuition fees, medical insurance, and a portion of accommodation expenses. According to the Ministry, these opportunities extend across a broad spectrum of academic disciplines. The Ministry further disclosed that all eligible applicants will be put forward for consideration. The selection process for scholarship recipients will be conducted by the entity providing the scholarships. The Ministry also stated that the list of universities and colleges where studies can be pursued is available on its website. According to the announcement, applications will be accepted until 2 p.m. on 18th February. Submissions can be made through the Ministry's Edu portal. The delayed third phase of Britain's post-Brexit border regime for imports from the European Union to begin on Friday, 5 years after Britain left the bloc's single market and 9 years after it voted to leave the EU. After Brexit, such was the scale of Britain's task to untangle supply chains and erect custom borders that it only started imposing new rules last year. The first phase of Britain's new border model requiring additional certification for some goods came into force at the end of January last year. A second phase followed at the end of April, introducing physical checks at ports for products such as meat, fish, cheese, eggs, dairy products, and some cut flowers. New charges were also introduced. From Friday, a third phase, delayed from October 31st last year, will kick off with businesses moving goods from the EU to Britain required to comply with new UK safety and security declaration requirements, detailed information about the products being shipped. Britain's Revenue and Customs said mandatory collection of the data would enable more intelligent risking of goods, with legitimate goods less likely to be held up at the border. It said this would mean less disruption to businesses while preventing illegal and dangerous goods entering the UK. But it warned businesses that declarations must be submitted before goods arrive at the UK border to avoid them being held up for unnecessary checks and possible penalties. While Britain's major retailers and large EU exporting businesses have all the resources to handle the demands of the new border regime, smaller retailers and wholesalers have complained it is disproportionately burdensome. Plans to extend physical checks to fruit and vegetables have been delayed several times, and in September last year were pushed out again to July 1st this year. Finance Minister Rachel Reeves said on Sunday she was happy to look at an idea put forward last week by European Trade Commissioner Maros Sefcovic that Britain could join a pan-European customs scheme. The scheme is not the same as the EU's full customs union, which the Labour government has said it will not rejoin. Russia condemns an order by US President Donald Trump to build a new missile defense shield, claiming that it was designed to weaken Russian and Chinese nuclear deterrence. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said that the move confirmed that U.S. intention to turn space into a theater of military confrontation. She explained that the U.S. space program is openly aimed at diminishing the strategic deterrence capabilities of both Russia and China. Furthermore, she pointed out that the program would significantly enhance the U.S. nuclear arsenal and provide tools to conduct military operations in space, including the creation and development of space-based infrared systems. Zakharova emphasized that the U.S. initiative was yet another confirmation of Washington's goal to turn space into a battleground for military confrontation, standoff, and the placement of weapons. She also criticized the U.S. approach to nuclear arms control, stating that isolating such issues from current military and political realities was unacceptable. According to Zakharova, strategic dialogue can only take place when it is based on equality, respects Russia's fundamental security interests, and takes a comprehensive approach to strategic stability, which includes factors tightly linked to one another. President Trump signed an order on January 27 for the implementation of a next-generation U.S. missile defense shield aimed at countering ballistic, hypersonic cruise missiles and other forms of aerial attack. The World Food Programme WFP expresses concern over the lack of aid access to Goma and surrounding camps for internally displaced people, IDPs, warning that people are running out of food, potable water and medical care. WFP spokesperson Shelley Thakral highlighted that the supply chain has been severely impacted, with both land and air access effectively shut down, making it extremely difficult to deliver aid to those in need. Analysts have raised alarms about the potential for a humanitarian crisis in Goma as basic services continue to collapse under rebel control. On Thursday, M23 leader Cornel Nangaa declared that the rebels would remain in Goma and continue their advance towards Kinshasa. He claimed that the group was working to establish secure humanitarian corridors to allow displaced people to return home, while also criticizing the President Felix governments for militarizing the region. International pressure is also mounting on Rwanda, which is accused of supporting the rebels in their advance. A Attacking midfielder Xavi Simons signs for RB Leipzig on a permanent deal after an 18-month loan spell at the Bundesliga team from Paris Saint-Germain. The Netherlands international attacking midfielder Xavi Simons has signed a contract at Leipzig until 2027. Media reports say the deal was worth over 50 million euros plus significant add-ons. Simons joined PSG as a youth player in 2019 after 7 years at Barcelona. He made his senior debut at the French club in 2021 and moved to PSV Eindhoven the next year before returning to PSG in 2023. PSG sent Simons on a loan to Leipzig shortly after his return. The 21-year-old has also made 24 appearances for the Netherlands and helped Leipzig win the German Super Cup in 2023. He has made 60 appearances for Leipzig over the last 2 seasons, scoring 15 goals. Leipzig are in the German Cup quarter-finals and sit 5th in Bundesliga, trailing 4th-placed VfB Stuttgart on a goal difference as they look to secure a top 4 finish and Champions League qualification. As preparations for the ICC Champions Trophy intensify, the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore is nearing completion and is set to host the prestigious tournament next month, marking a major milestone for international cricket in Pakistan. A Pakistani official said on Thursday that the work at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore is nearly complete and will be ready to host the ICC Champions Trophy, which starts next month. The pavilion and office building are fully completed with only small furniture arrangements and external developments including road and landscape beautification remaining. The stadium's lights and both screens have been energized. The Director of Infrastructure Ghazi Jawad further explained that the pavilion building's construction and finishing work has been completed and now they are preparing to place the furniture. He added that the stadium is now ready to host the Champions Trophy. Regarding the inauguration of the stadium, Ghazi Jawad mentioned that they had requested Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to give a date and an announcement will be made as soon as he does. Stadiums in Lahore, Karachi and Rawalpindi are being upgraded for the tournament, which could pave the way for more global events to be hosted in a country that had been deemed unsafe for international cricket after 2009 attack on the Sri Lankan cricket team. The stadium's capacity has been increased to accommodate 35,000 fans and new hospitality areas have also been constructed. The 8-team 50 overs tournament will be the first global competition to be held in Pakistan in 28 years. India, however, will play all the matches in Dubai due to political tensions with their northern neighbours. Lahore and Karachi will also host a tri-nation series involving New Zealand and South Africa next month to prove their readiness for the Champions Trophy, which begins on February 19. From the young woman brutally murdered and dismembered in a short-term rental apartment to the Olympic runner set on fire by her estranged boyfriend, a surge in violence against women in Kenya has spurred many to prepare themselves to fight back. At least 97 women across Kenya were killed in femicides, intentional killings with a gender-related motivation, between August and October of last year. The police did not provide statistics for earlier periods, but according to figures compiled by the Africa Data Hub Collective based on media reports, there were at least 75 femicides in 2023 and 46 the year before. Activists say the recent upward trend is felt across Kenya's impoverished informal settlements, where women's efforts to protect themselves have taken on fresh urgency. Inside a church in the Korogocho area of the capital Nairobi, Mary Wainana, 93 years old, thumped a punching bag. "No, no, no," she shouted, before running away from a classmate pretending to be a male aggressor. For the dozen members of the class, who refer to themselves as Kuku Junkige, Swahili for Grandma Protect Yourself, the lessons have never been purely theoretical. The course was started nearly 25 years ago by an American couple working with local residents after several women were raped and killed in Korogocho, an impoverished and crime-plagued sprawl of iron shacks along the Nairobi River. Shining Hope of Communities, a non-profit, said it had supported 307 survivors of gender-based violence in Korogocho between October and December alone. A few years ago, Wainana said she used her self-defense skills to defend of a man who tried to rape her. Esther Nigeria, 82 years old, said she found the current surge in violence against women just as worrying as the wave of ethics that prompted the class creation. Gender-based violence has long been a major problem in Kenya because patriarchal views, socioeconomic inequalities, and insufficient legal protections. For example, Kenyan law does not criminalize spousal rape, meaning it can only be punished under laws covering non-sexual assaults. Kenyan police routinely fail to respond to complaints of gender-based violence, often considering them private matters. According to the family of the professional runner Rebecca Chaptegi, whose ex-boyfriend killed her in September by dosing her in petrol and setting her alight, had gone to the police at least 3 times last year to report threats and physical abuse by him. In an off-camera interview, a police spokesperson said the police were taking the issue of femicide seriously and that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations had recently established a missing persons unit to concentrate on the murders of women. But activists say they see few signs of progress. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.